Hello, this is Shahzad with another video uh, for necessary Python for artificial intelligence. And in this video, we will learn about for and while loops in Python. So let's get started. So what is a loop? And in Python, a for loop is used to iterate over a sequence, such as a list, tuple, string, or range, and execute a block of code multiple times. It allows you to perform repetitive tasks effectively. So how does a for loop actually work? The for loop goes through each item in the sequence by one, assigning it to a variable, and then execute the code block inside the loop for each item. So let's do some practicals for it. So let's say, for example, we can start with for. This is the syntax to start a for loop, and we have a we declare a variable I, and in and range is a built-in variable, a built-in function that creates a sequence of variables, a sequence of numeric sequence of numbers. So what I want to create a 5-number sequence. And next I can do is I will print I. So what it does is this, that I missed this. So what it does is when the for loop starts, it declares a variable I, and it's trying to find it stores the value of the first sequence digit in the range of 5, which is 0. The range of 5 starts with 0 and up to 4, and the total number will be 5. So once it's done, it stores the value into I, then it prints, then again it's go back, and until the sequence is completed, it keep repeating itself. This is how for loop works. So let's explore one more example of it. Like for example, if you want to traverse a word, how will it the for loop will work for it. So let's say we have a string variable, and let's store something like hello world, and we want to traverse it. So start with the for I in, and we give the string variable here, and next, okay, it's a mistake. We'll print it, print I. So it will print all the words present in the string variable. So here you can see it has also counted the space here. It has also treated a space as a placeholder for the I. So let's remove it. Let's see now. As you can see that the white space is removed because I have removed it from the string variables. So this is basically how a for loop works. There is also a concept of break and continue. In the for loop, concept of break and continue, let's explore what that is. Let's say I have for loop, and I have declared a variable in. We can also use as we like, in range 5, and we'll use an if statement. Put a condition here: if num equals to 3, what it will do next is break the loop. It will stop the break, to stop the loop. and after that we can say otherwise it will print num. So as we can see that when the value of num become equals to 3, as our if statement get the true value of the statement, it breaks the loop and do not continue any further. It's in the same manner we have another concept that is continue. And in continue, what it does is it skips that particular execution of the loop and again go back and complete the rest of the loop. So let's change the keyword to continue. So here you can see when the value of num was 3, it skipped that particular it skipped that particular loop, and rest it completed until the 4. So this is the main purpose of the break and continue for the for loops. You can also use in for list, and then for example, should do one more example of loop. For example, if we have, let's say we have a total variable, let's initiate it to 0, and then we have for num, this is the variable we are declaring. In again we will use range, and let's go to 6, and what it does, it will sum all the values from 0 to 5. So for that we can, what we can do, total equals to, or we can also say like this, and num, and then we print the result, that is total. And in the end we can also print something like this, total sum of range 6 is range 6 is let's say TO and close it. Let's see. We can see what problem it is giving. Okay, I missed the column here, and here we go. As we can see, you can see that it is adding all the values, is adding all the values in the range. We can also make some changings here, like the range will start currently it is starting from 0. We can make it start from the 1 up to 6, and let's see, now it's much better. The answer is same, as you can see. So this is how for loop is used in the Python. And next we will learn about so there are a few tips that you should consider for using for loop in Python. when you have to use range function for numeric loop, especially when you can use it, especially when you know the exact number of iteration. So I know from where I have to start, where I have to end the loop, so I can use a range. And other than that, you can also take advantage of break and continue statement to control the flow of the loops. So this is pretty much it is. There are lots of things we can do with the for loop that we will gradually learn more about it in our upcoming videos, where we work with the list, tuples, and complex structures. And this is all for now for loops. Next, we will learn about while loop. That is also an interesting and useful structure in the Python. Okay, next we have while loops. So let me add a cell here, and so what are while loops in Python? So a while loop allows you to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as a given condition is true. Its type of loop, this type of loop is useful when you don't know in advance how many times you will need to iterate and want to loop to continue until a specific condition is met. The while loop evaluates a condition before each iteration. If the condition is true, only then the code block inside the loop is executed. This process repeats until the condition becomes false. So let's do some examples of while loop. So let's say I have a variable num that I'm initiating to 1, and start using the while loop, and here we use the num value. Here we put the condition. We say while num, whose value is 1 at the moment when the while loop first started, is less than or equal to what? Let's say 5. And what it does, it prints it. Print what? Number. Num. And after that, it will also add 1. So the value of num variable get increment of 1 every time it loops through this while loop. So let's execute this. So exactly after 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops, it stopped. Why did it stop? Because of when the value of num variable become equal to 5, then only then the while loop will be stop looping itself. So this is how a while loop works. And some other example we have also break and continue, like we have in the for loop. So what we can do about it, and let's see, copy the same example here, and we have 5. Let's initiate it to 1. That's all right. Then we have 5, and we can add in some condition like if count, not count, we have number, count is equal to 5, when what then it should break the loop. Otherwise, it should print num. Okay, and it should also increment in num. So in this way, only when the num value of num becomes 5, this while loop will break. Otherwise, it will count uh, to 5. Let it put it like this. Change the value of comparison argument of if. So here you can see when the while loop started, the num value was 1, and it checked whether it is less than or equal to 5. It was not. It executed. It again checked if num is equal to 3. It was not the case, so it did not executed the break command. After that, what it did, it went on and printed the number and incremented the 1 into the num, which became 2. And as it the num value of num became the 3, it executed the and the if statement was satisfied, it became true, so it executed the break this statement and got out of the loop. In the same way, we have we can also use continue. In this situation, it will skip this. Continue, it will skip the third it will skip the printing of third one. So as you can see, okay, what's going on here, it's not executing to the end. Let me check it. Okay, let me run it again. Okay, so what's going on here is, okay, the reason it's not working properly could be like something making some mistake here. I think we need to shift it to upwards here. And what will happen here is that while num is less than equal to 5, it will increment it. If num is equal to, if this line satisfy, if num become equal to 3, it will continue to skip the loop and then print it. So let's try this code, and voila, it's working now. Now you know that what happened here. Let me explain it to you. When the num variable is initialized to 1, and while statement checks whether the condition satisfied or not. If it's not, it will keep looping. So in the loop, when it enters, the code says the num plus 1 is added to the num, and again if statement starts after that, and it checks whether the num variable is equal to 3. If the situation is satisfied, it becomes true, then it will skip that particular loop. Otherwise, it will print the num. Okay, so this is it for the continue thing that we have in variables, and where we actually normally use it. And we use it like when we are getting user input. Let's say we are asking a password. Let's put a password that is 1 2 3 3 2 1. This is our password, and I'm trying to explain the when we use the while statement. So it is and let's take an input, and another and also another initialize another variable, that is uh, user pwd, and let's what we do is start while user pwd not equal to pwd, what it will do, it will keep asking user about the correct password. So p user underscore pwd, and we say that input enter correct password, and we close the bracket. After that, we can say print will print access granted. When the password is supplied, only then will be access granted. Otherwise, it will keep looping and asking for the correct password from the user. So let's try it. Okay, what's here? Enter input, enter what is wrong. Okay, double quote. Oh no, what is here? Okay, I haven't closed the. Okay. Okay, password initialized. Okay, let's say if I add this password, it will keep asking me this. It will keep asking me. It will not break the loop unless I enter the right password. So our right password is 123 and 321. Now it will give me the password and it will break the loop. So all the thing the reason why it's keep looping is this statement, that it checks here while user password is not equal to the password is this one, and we are getting input this, and it will check whether this statement is until unless this statement is not true, this will keep looping. Otherwise it will break the loop, and we as you saw, we got this message executed after completing the loop and after exiting the loop. So this is one of the few things that we have with the loops, and there is one more thing. We can also use else with while. For example, how we can use it else. For example, we have let's get some pick this one. Okay, not this one. Okay, this one. So for example, this is the simplest example. So what I can do here is that I can use an else statement. So the purpose of this else statement is that once the loop, okay, this was not a while loop. Well, also we can do it with the for loop as well. Let me show. I forgot to show you. Well, demonstrating the for loop. Else we can print completed. So what it does, once the loop is completed, after that it will execute this statement. If we put anything like break or in between to break the loop, this below the statement, the print statement that is under the else situation will not be executed. So let's try this one. As you can see, after completing the loop, it has showed that the loop is completed. So in the same way, we can also do with the while loop. So let me find a simplest example of while. Okay. Let's copy it, add a cell, copy it, and after that, what I do is I will print loop completed. Okay, what's wrong here? Okay, mistake. Now what? Print. So here you go. So this else we also can use with the while and for loops to once the loop is completed successfully, after that it will execute this else statement. If we break the loop, whether it's while loop or for loop, it will not execute the else statement. So this was it for the while loop, and there are tips for using the while loops. Try to avoid infinite loops. Ensure your loop has a condition that will eventually become false, or use a break statement, and also use else when needed. It can be helpful to execute code only when the loop completes normally. Make it interactive. While loops are great for user input and interactive programs. So this is the usage of the while loop. So this was all it for loop and while loop. If you find this video helpful and useful, please hit like, and if you have any question or comment on my videos, let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching this video.